Hello and welcome to Dante's Journey to Freedom. My name is Frank Ambrosio. I'm director of the doctoral program in liberal studies, and I'm also a member of the philosophy department at Georgetown University.
Hello, my name is Eddie Maloney. I'm the executive director of CANDLES, our Center for New Designs in Learning and Scholarship at Georgetown University, and I'm also professor in the Department of English. Together, Frank and I are co-founders of the My Dante project at Georgetown University. The My Dante project, and by extension this MOOC, is a project about how we read literature and how we live our lives, what it means to be a human and to think about human dignity.
We'll have more to say about those two ideas in just a minute, but before we go any further, we want to stop and offer some thanks. First, to Jean and Robert Hollander, who graciously have given us permission to use their very wonderful translation of the Divine Comedy, and also to their publishers, Random House, because that translation is going to form really the heart and soul of our interaction with Dante's poetry. We're very grateful to the Hollanders to making this available for us, and we'll have more to say about the many ways in which their translation can enrich your enjoyment of the poem as we go along.
We'd also like to thank the many members of the Georgetown University Design and Development team who've done an amazing amount of work over the past few months on this course. Many of those members of the team are identified on the edX website. Others are listed on the My Dante site at Georgetown University.
Now, while it's very true, as Eddie said a moment ago, that this MOOC is about a way of reading literature and a way of living human life, there's another sense in which what's completely obvious and most important is that what the course is really about is Dante's poem, The Divine Comedy. The Divine Comedy, as poetry, is art. Art is about beauty, and beauty is about enjoyment. It wouldn't make any sense at all if the primary goal of this course were not to enhance your enjoyment of the beauty of Dante's poem.
Another way of thinking about art is that it's meant to provoke an emotional response in us. It's meant to do something to us. It's meant to act upon us. Dante's poem, as beautiful as it is also terrifying. It's sad. It's elative. It's something that gives us a way of seeing salvation. As we think about art and we think about beauty and the role that this poem plays in our lives, we want to explore the full range of human emotions in relationship to this poem.
We often hear that art imitates life. Now, some critics and people in the academic community might have qualifications they'd want to make on that. Some would even dispute whether or not it's a useful idea. Fair enough. But for most of us, it's pretty straightforward and we get the point. Art shows us who we are, and that's why we enjoy it. It helps us see our good experiences and our not so good experiences. It helps us express our emotions, and together with that recognition of ourselves, we have now a celebration. Literally, that's not too strong a word. We have a celebration of ourselves as human beings. The beauty of art helps us recognize and enjoy what gives our lives as human beings meaning and value. Sometimes it's pleasurable, sometimes it's painful. But whenever art is beautiful, it is beautiful because it shows us what's real. So what's this reality that we're going to suggest the beauty of Dante's Divine Comedy shows us? It's the life of souls, Dante would say. The journey through the world of the souls in the afterlife that gives Dante this full range and scope of the reality that human beings can only partly see. We're going to suggest to you that a way of understanding this reality of the human that Dante would refer to as the soul, for us in the 21st century can be paraphrased, can be captured in terms that maybe are just a little bit more timely, just a little bit more immediate to all of us, by calling it human dignity. Specifically, the kind of dignity that is possessed by a person who is free and because of that freedom is responsible for deciding their identity. The dignity of human personal identity lies in the fact that it is the uniquely personal answer that an individual makes to the question, who am I? This question, who am I, will be our guide as we journey through Dante's Inferno over the next 6 weeks. Our ability to let it guide us, our ability to follow where it needs to take us, will depend on our ability to listen, not just with understanding, but as a voice that speaks to us personally. We're going to call that way of reading and that way of listening contemplative. And in the next video, we'll explain a little bit more fully what that word, what that name means.